have everybody stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. So everybody knows we're recording the meeting via Zoom. Also, WCAT 12 is televising it, and we also are streaming it via Facebook. First thing on the agenda is the first right of refusal for Devil's Lane. Okay. I assume that's why you're here, huh? All right. Let's look at this. So what's going on with Devil's Lane? You're splitting it up into lots?
Well, these are already in lots, but this one, this third.
Can you do me a favor and just identify who you are and what you're representing?
I'm Ellen Cheney.
Okay.
Do I have to look anyplace specific?
No. So it's automatically gonna pan on you.
Okay. I'm Ellen Cheney. I'm representing my parents, David and Vicki Cheney, who own this parcel.
Okay.
So there's 3 lots here. 2 of them are already sold, lot 3 and lot 2. Those are in Brimfield. The lot 1 is under purchase and sale agreement. That's what you have there. And there is a portion of that lot in Warren.
Okay.
So the house will still be in Brimfield, but there is 13,250
So
square
you
feet.
putting homes in?
We're selling it to an individual, and they will decide. I'm assuming they're
Oh,
gonna build a
okay.
house there, yes. They live across the street.
Yeah, it looks like they're small lots, so.
They're an acre and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is in Warren is just 0.3. It's just a little sliver. Yeah, because we didn't have enough frontage and acreage, because obviously Brimfield's an acre and a half minimum lot size.
Do you guys have any questions?
No, looks pretty straightforward.
Any questions there?
Just out of curiosity, what happens to the remaining land? You have a little site plan on the right, and there's this remaining land.
We own the land that goes all the way down to the Mass Pike. So we own the land on the right-hand side all the way down Devil's
So they
Lane
just
until
keep
it
it.
comes to the Mass Pike. So that is in lots. There's 2 of them that are already sold. I came here last year because those were removed from 61A. And then we own 5 more lots there, and they're just there right now. The road really needs to be improved before those could be considered building lots, because that road is in very poor condition.
I like when you call them building lots, meaning there will be a house someday over there.
There certainly could be. I mean, they are set up into building lots there, but the road would have to be improved according to the highway department in order for those to be, person to be given a building permit.
This is the road that got cut when the Mass Pike came in, right?
Right, that, the other side of it's Forest Ave.
And the portion of Warren got, have to go around to get the.
Yeah.
Okay.
If somebody wants to be in the woods, it's a nice location.
I like the word woods.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything?
No, sir.
Anything? Okay. Does anybody in the audience have any questions about the right of first refusal on Devil's Lane? No? Okay. Do a motion?
Yeah, our motion here reads to act on the first right of refusal. I think we are denying first right of refusal, right? What do we,
Yeah.
okay.
We're not gonna
We're not gonna.
engage, well, we're not gonna take,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Right.
it's,
We're
we're not gonna
let it
act upon the right of first refusal.
Right,
So we're passing it over.
Right. So
Okay.
that it can come out of the 61A.
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to deny the first right of refusal and allow the Cheney Trust to sell their land, which is .018 acres.
Second.
All in favor?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes, and we are not gonna proceed with the right of first refusal. So, you all set?
All right, thank you.
Okay, and I gotta sign, right?
All three of you. Need to sign your book too. If you don't mind signing the things first box here, you have to put all three signatures in there.
And you're gonna fill this all in later?
It's already filled in on this side, and it's hold it in
Okay.
And then Karen, that just goes to Priscilla then, right?
Yes.
I don't need to take anything with me
No.
tonight or anything, right? You'll give
Yeah, it
Priscilla
just
so
goes
she
to
can get the
Priscilla,
rollback.
And she has already figured out how much you owe and.
Right, for the
So
rollback.
she's all good.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
You're welcome, have a good night.
You too.
Does she need a copy?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
it goes to Priscilla.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
We're all signed?
Nancy, you're still working?
I am till Tuesday. Tuesday's my last day. You want, that goes to Karen.
Oh, it does, okay.
Thank you, Nancy. Do you want anything
Sure.
else? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See
Nancy.
ya.
Good night,
Have a good
Nancy.
weekend.
You too. Okay. So this is treasurer, next thing on the agenda is the treasurer's request on health insurance. Recommendations, stable. Okay. Do you have any insight on this?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mr. Chairman, I met with Don Swistack, our treasurer, with regards to our annual renewal for medical insurance for the town. It is a modest increase of 0.83% over the current rates. Maya is still providing exceptional service for town employees as well as retirees. With regards to this, it's pretty standard. The budget assumes a 3.7 increase, so this 1.83% over the current rate would definitely fall below that. So.
Do you guys have any questions?
Well, this is, like you said, modest increase. I have to say that's like an understatement, because I think my insurance went up 14% for health insurance. Right? I mean, this is awesome. And then they budgeted for 3.7%, so.
Well, yeah, that's
And
what
that's
Don
huge.
does, yeah, so we're gonna be able to maybe receive some,
Yeah,
some,
this is unbelievable.
Good. So you good?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, I'm in the same boat. My insurance went up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I wish mine went up 0.83%.
I wish mine went down.
Well.
I want it to go down, not up.
I still gotta go down.
But hey, if I gotta take a hit, I'd rather
Yeah.
less than a point here.
Mr. Chairman, I may also, during the course of this conversation that I had with our treasurer, she had indicated to me, we also had the Maya rep in at the time, that there's another program that the treasurer may think about rolling out as a benefit to our employees, and that would be a vision plan. If there was 4 people of our employees that got onto the vision plan, we would also be able to save a 0.05% on our insurance, our healthcare insurance. So that is something that we're looking into to see if there would be some level of participation amongst the employees.
I'm sure we'd be able to get at least 4
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
vision plan.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Glasses and stuff can be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Contact lenses, whatever.
So that would be another benefit that we could add, to our employees. It wouldn't cost the town anything, and actually, we would be able to save some money on our insurance because, people participated in the plan. So we're gonna be looking into that. I'll be looking into that with Dawn.
So
Very
you
good.
said it wouldn't cost anything?
No, it's a self-funded plan. So, I mean, if as long as 4 participants participated in the plan, that it would cover itself, and it wasn't an expensive plan.
Okay. So right now, people don't have vision care at all? It's all
Correct.
out.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
That sounds
Be
like a
great.
good idea.
okay. Do you have any other questions about this?
Nope, I guess we need to make a motion, right?
Anybody have a question, any questions about the Maya insurance?
Vision sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You got one. All right, motion.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's recommendation and stay with Maya for our health insurance.
Second,
All in favor?
Rich Ihacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. We'll be staying with Maya for our insurance. Definitely look into the vision. Any benefits we can get for our employees,
Mm-hmm.
all for it. Okay. All right. Appointments to various positions.
We don't have any.
I don't have them yet, huh?
I thought we would have some, but she says we don't appoint elected officials, so that will be in July when we do all of those. So I
Okay.
was mistaken.
Did we want to sign the thing for Kerry?
Sure.
We already voted to approve, right?
Yeah, you can.
As the municipal hearings officer.
Yeah.
So we can just sign that, since we already touched on this. Okay, next thing on the agenda are warrants and bills.
All right, I'll make a motion to pay the following warrants. Number 91 payroll for $46,932.80. Number 92 vendor for $135,550.61. Following bills, Northeast IT, $2,223. Pathfinder, Voc for our quarterly assessment, $101,212. Amazon Business, $45.98. Quabog Youth Baseball, $500. KP Law for $3,230. Verizon phone bill, $135.41. National Grid for the streetlights, a credit of $19,684.51. Bianchiniello Contracting for the concrete slab over the boxing ring, and so that was $6,500, and then the roof over the coal chute was $1,250, and then C2 MA Adams for streetlights, $2,087.98. That's my motion.
Okay,
Need a second?
Second,
all in favor?
Rich Ihacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. The warrants and bills will be paid. Okay, minutes?
Nope.
We don't have any?
I did send you an email with
You
corrections.
did. I didn't have time to do it.
And did you mean to send forward April 2nd minutes?
I did. I
Okay.
read your
Okay.
email. I did send it back to you, though.
Okay.
So new business. We have any new business? Rich?
I'll just, well, sort of new business, the VoIP discussion. I sent you information about an alternative. Northeast IT partners with Intermedia.
Okay.
So we should probably, well, what we should do is figure out what we need and then get a requote from Valley and then a quote from Northeast IT and then be able to compare them.
Yeah. We gotta find out if our internet can be made more reliable to be doing this too.
And bandwidth.
Right, it's great, you know, that we could, you know, get the new technology and everything, but I'm just not convinced. I see it, even with us, at my employer, it goes out pretty frequently. And when those phones, he said in here, when they boot up, after they go down, they come back up, it takes about 10 minutes for them to boot up.
Yeah.
And that's a long time when you're trying to get calls and stuff. And it happened in the middle of the day. And if it happens a couple of times, happens 3 times. That's 30 minutes of lost time now on all the phones.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and then is it gonna add more money to our, you know, internet account?
Well,
Because are they gonna turn around and say, okay, you need to have more data coverage now, so, you know, to cover the phones, so is that bill gonna go up? So are we really saving money?
Yeah, the guy from Valley didn't bring that up, but Doug from Northeast IT said in their, he's experienced it with other towns where they just installed it and their network had
Couldn't do
terrible
it.
problems, yeah. So he recommended at least 600 Mbps, so, I don't know, could you call Comcast and
Mhm.
check? Because it's not on that invoice and
Yep. Yep,
see what they have, and then see what it's gonna cost to bump the speed.
sure.
Yeah. And we might have to make sure that, you know, whatever equipment we have in here, because I don't know if we have a business, you know, internet, or if we're just using standard.
Should be business.
Is it
It is
business?
business,
Okay.
but it didn't say on the bill what the speed was or any information about it. It
Like
just
the
said
package.
business.
Yeah, like I
There's
have
probably
a
different
glass or
grade
something.
packages too.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm surprised it's not on there. One thing Doug talked about is rolling our own fiber optic network in town. He says there's other towns that have done that, where they do their own broadband in town. And they do a lot in the hill towns because there's no cell service, so that's how you get cell service in effect, is you have really good internet and Wi-Fi.
what would that entail though?
I'm not sure, but I don't know, I mean, there's ARPA
Because
money, there's.
the
Dex
fiber
Trust.
optics, you know, a lot of that stuff you typically put underground.
Yeah,
So it's not getting damaged, because if you put it, you can't run it like the cable, you know,
Yeah, I
from
don't-
pole to pole,
I don't
because
know about it.
the weather is gonna really mess it up, because those fibers and stuff, they break up or they come apart. You get a break in your fiber, it can be pretty costly trying to trace down that break and
Mhm.
where it is, so.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, if we can find out
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what it would
Yep.
be to do that, you know, if they turn around and say, oh, it's $20,000 to roll it all out, and whatever, I highly doubt that, because I know at work, we're trying to run some fiber lines, and that's gonna be like $400,000 or $500,000 from one building to another building,
wow.
so.
No,
It's not cheap.
Yeah. I'm sure it's pretty involved to do that, but I can get some estimates, and I'll talk to Comcast with regards to where we currently are.
Yeah, and what it would take to get up to
Mhm.
600.
600's the number?
That's what Doug recommended, yeah.
And, yeah, I guess we're just gonna follow up with all that later on, and
Yeah,
once we have more numbers, you know.
and I guess if we can figure out what we need for phones,
Sure.
how many phones here, how many police, fire, highway, probably one
Mhm.
phone.
Well, you guys are already on the
3.
VoIP system, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we, what's the name of it?
We have Crocker.
Crocker.
Yeah, police and fire have Crocker.
I'm not impressed with them, but
Oh,
It's not cheap. I mean, we pay, I think I pay almost $40 a month for our system.
How much?
233 and change, something like
I
that.
was
How
paying
much?
like
How many
500.
phones?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Huh. It seems like.
I was paying upwards of 500, and I cut it down a lot.
Wow.
When I took over, they had a voicemail for every officer, and you pay per voicemail, per line, and by cutting just that out, I went down to $200 and something.
Yeah, I forgot what my email was, but it was maybe $25 per phone, per user. And I think.
Valley was like 20.
Like 20, yeah.
Mhm.
But the price may change, the more phones we can put
Mhm.
through them,
Mm,
you know, the bigger the discount.
okay. I'll get more details on that.
Yeah.
You good, you have any questions there?
No, I'm just gonna wait for the CD, you know, when they start, you know, putting options to, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and then, right now I have no questions. 'Cause it's tricky, you know, the internet, the IT is gonna say, oh, they did this much, they know this much, they paid for that. The other ones may say, no, we don't need that much.
Hmm.
Where is that balance?
Mm.
You know, and it all comes down to how much at the end it's gonna cost us.
Yeah.
You know, I also put in the equation, keep one landline in the building just in case we run out of power. There's one phone that everybody can go and call for help.
Yeah.
They will have to keep the fax line as a hard line because some of the faxes that we send to the government will not take it over the other.
Oh, the VoIP.
Are we,
The internet?
is there a cost associated to that fax?
With our fax line,
Mhm.
and I think it's like $17 a month.
Yeah, you keep the most basic.
You know, you can, for $10 a month, you can do e-fax. So that might be a little cost savings we can go with. $7 against, you know, 17 against 10, but.
Well, our copiers can do fax. All the copiers can do that fax anyways, right?
But they'll need a phone
I
line,
think so, yeah.
or since they're connected to the internet, we can have this, the e-fax connection and just send it $10 a month instead of 17.
Hmm.
Small difference, but, you know,
Yeah.
the only problem is if it goes down, we can't send faxes.
Well, that's the thing,
That's why they suggested
has to be
keeping a hard
copper
line.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then we would have the phone.
If we can have the fax send up just one phone, so everybody knows that if there's no power, you can go to that phone and call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Concha. I was wondering because, say like, my home phone is hardwired. And like here, every time it's raining heavy in Springfield, my line is static. My computer is worthless. Well, I'm wondering, maybe we should ask Verizon to give us credit for all those days that we don't have a line.
I tried, it won't work.
Yeah, it's difficult to get anything back from them. I think they require you to be out for so many days before they would refund you. And they refund you per day. They wouldn't, if you're out for an hour or 20 minutes or anything like that, they're not,
It is also.
it is what it is, but if you're out for several days, like during the ice storm, when all the lines were down, people could get credits on their phones. But also, a lot of people aren't doing landlines anymore. People are getting away from them. Yeah, cell phones everywhere.
That's one of the other problems too, because if all the power goes out, the cell phone towers go down. There's no power for them.
Generators.
They generally have backup generators.
Yeah, that one on
Guild Road.
Southbridge Road must have generators because there's
Yeah.
buildings by it.
So they got plans for that. They don't want to lose money either.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would be nice if they brought in fiber optics, but that's mostly cities, unless you're doing it locally.
Yeah, it's really expensive to do that. They may roll it out someday, but I don't think we're top of their list to do it. They're probably gonna get everybody else. And the only reason we would get it is if they have to go through us to get to another main area.
But that's what Doug was saying, is there are programs, because like the hill towns have no cell service, so they got a priority installation, right? Which we might be able to do, you know? And we do have cell service in parts of town.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know if we would qualify.
There's a lot of dead areas in town.
Right,
Yeah, we tried working that before, and when I talked to Verizon about it and AT&T, they were basically just said, upgrade your phones. Yeah, because the new networks, people have older cell phones, and when they upgrade the networks don't exactly talk very well with the older cell phone format. And because they're looking for the future, they're upgrading, and when they do those upgrades, it's not supported so well. And when you upgrade your phone, you get a better connection. I know when they told me that, and I got a new phone, I actually got more signal. I got better signal in town. Although if I go through the center of town, just like everybody else, I don't know if it's a black hole or something down there, but my signal's completely gone at that point, until I reach the outskirts from the center.
Well, in West Warren, it's an AT&T tower
Mhm.
on the smokestack. My daughter has a Verizon phone, she gets 1 bar. It's 600 feet from the tower. When I had a flip phone, which was 10 years old, I could get 5 bars. From Lysack's garage to Spencer's garage, it's a dead zone.
You gotta remember, the speeds on the phone are different too. So your flip phone was probably just what, an analog signal, where now you're getting 4G and 5G speeds. So when you're sitting there looking at, 3 bars and 5G, it's different from your old analog phone that you had, which was probably gonna get a lot more signal, but it also didn't have all the neat little things that
You couldn't browse
smartphones
the
have.
web.
Yeah, so, technology, we gotta try to keep up with it, so. All right,
That's all.
anything else, Joe?
No.
Maybe there's something out there they can put a hotspot in the middle of the town,
Yeah,
Put an antenna on this roof.
just a hotspot. If you go to Picasso, there's a hotspot of AT&T over there. When I drop my kids or go to Picasso, boom, I get full Wi-Fi, and it's great. So if there was another one in the center of town, it would be great.
well, isn't it Xfinity?
Xfinity, yeah.
As long as you have Xfinity,
Yeah.
they link, and they'll actually boost your signal. The more Xfinity devices, the signal gets stronger or something like that.
Every router has like a
Yeah.
public
Connection.
hotspot connection.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you drive down the road, you
Maybe
can't
we
bounce
can,
from.
we can invite them in to explain us how it works, and we can get more hotspots in town. It will help the people.
Hmm.
At one time, they wanted to put a cell phone tower in the church steeple. And so many people complained, church and state deal, that they couldn't do it. But, that's really downtown Warren,
Short-sighted.
Yeah.
and you'd never see the tower.
What about the old town hall? Right?
I'd be afraid to put anything on that bill, honestly.
They can't weigh much, those antennas.
The
Ask him.
receivers, yeah, the transponder, whatever it is.
Yeah,
You've seen the size of those things on the smokestack at the Wrights?
yeah, but they can't weigh that much, right?
How much is the antenna?
Might make some money
The
on
old
it.
I have no idea what a cell phone antenna there is.
I don't know, do you
Different
guys
than what we
trust the
use.
cell phone tower signal?
Nah, that's different than what we use. We use those.
I don't know if I
Mr.
would do
Chairman,
anything, I wouldn't do anything on the chimney, that's for sure. I wouldn't mess with the structural vines either.
I think, Mr. Chair, we concentrate on the phones, have everybody contact, have the prices, have the number of phones, and let's see once we have all the cards on the table, we can
Yeah.
Yeah.
think about it.
We do have a tower on the fire station, you might be able to do something there. It's not in great shape either. I wouldn't recommend putting anything on the town hall, I think you're just asking for, it's just another, there's there's some issues with the roof and the chimney and stuff, I think it would just leave it be. But, the fire station's pretty much in the same exact area, you could do something
Yeah.
there potentially. I think of the other town, really isn't much else town-owned there. But, yeah, I mean, fire station would probably be the easiest bet that's in the same, at least.
You have an antenna already up there, right?
Yeah, we have an antenna up there, and I think the tower's safe enough to be able to put something there, so.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Other
No.
boards? No?
No, sir.
Any new business?
No new business?
Okay. The only thing, new business we could really talk about is we did do the walkthrough with the levy, for the levy inspection with the Army Corps of Engineers over by the Wrights Complex. That was actually kind of interesting. We learned a lot. We've seen areas that we need to improve on. We also rolled in the inspection for the Corps of Engineer all into this one visit for the annual inspection also. So they're gonna be giving us information within the next 90 days on what we need to improve to become compliant again. Because currently, right now, the levy is not compliant. And the problem with not being compliant with our levy right now is if something happened in the levy had a breach or something else, that something happened to the levy, the town would have to pay for it. If we bring it into compliance and we do the proper maintenance for the levy, then the Corps of Engineers will bring us into compliance. And if anything happens to the levy, the Corps of Engineers will handle the cost. So if there was, for whatever, say $100,000 worth of damage on the levy, being compliant, the Corps of Engineers would pay for all that up to, well, except for the first $15,000. And I'm like, well, we could do $15,000, but I don't think we could do hundreds of thousands of dollars because that would really hurt us. So it really is in the interest of the town to make sure the levy is compliant and we're good with that. So that's what we're doing today. And we should have more information on that here in the next 90 days on what we need to do. So, okay. I think that's all I have. Do you have anything, Derek?
No, sir.
Okay. Old business. Okay, so one of the things we had for old business was the dog hearing update. And I know the ACO called you and filled you in,
Yes.
and what was the outcome?
So I spoke to our ACO today, and the dog was euthanized. And we should have some paperwork with regards to that. That has been taken care of.
So we could pretty much close the dog hearing then.
So I'll make a motion to close the dog hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes. The dog hearing for this particular complaint is closed due to the dog being euthanized. Okay. Do you have any old business?
No.
Derek?
No, sir.
No.
All right, Karen? Okay. All right, town administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the board. Thank you, department heads and audience. Mr. Chairman, I wanted to report to the board last night, just as more or less a courtesy. I did take a trip over to West Brookfield. They were having their budgetary meeting, and I just observed, hoping to maybe gain some information on the school stuff. They were basically holding everything for our meeting on the 10th. I did offer my contact information to the board members if they needed any information I could provide them ahead of the meeting to make it more productive. They were appreciative of that, kind of made an introduction of myself to them over there, and saying that we're going to be prepared for the meeting on the 10th. Just my observation was, that they are in some financial difficulty over there, so I just want to let the board, be aware of that as well. Next item on the agenda that I wanted to talk about with regards to my report, I was notified by Lisa, our sewer secretary, that we have 2 applicants for the position of chief operator at the plant, and the two applicants seem to be very qualified, and they're going to be having interviews with the sewer commissioners on Tuesday, the 10th, at 2:30 in the afternoon. One is scheduled for 2:30, the other one's scheduled for 3 o'clock. We had to make a slight accommodation because one of the applicants couldn't make a 4 o'clock meeting. I know they normally have their meetings at 3:30, but one of the applicants couldn't make that, so we made an accommodation for them. But that's really exciting to happen to have that facility almost fully functioning, with four things there. So just wanted to report that to the board.
Where did the applicants come from? Was it Indeed or something else?
No, the applicants came from our website,
Okay.
believe it or not. Yeah, so they saw it on the town's website. The one applicant is from Palmer, and the other applicant is from Munson.
Okay.
They are still posted, so if there's any other applicants out there that, to get their applications in, they can definitely find the application and the posting on the website or in Indeed. Next item I wanted to touch base upon was the line item transfers. I know Karen had put together some line item transfers for the Board of Selectmen. I reached out to the chairman of the Finance Committee, John Nason, to see if by any chance, they could move it up because they have an additional member that has just been acclimated to the Finance Committee. But that member, from what I was told, is going to be out of town. They're not going to be here for the annual town meeting. They're traveling to California. So the first time that we could hear line item transfers is going to be the 17th, which I think we're going to be okay with. We're going to be okay with getting those done in having everything properly paid. One item that I know I spoke to Karen about today was, I don't know if the board was considering having a meeting next Thursday, because if that was possible, I spoke to the Finance Committee people, and usually line item transfers go to them first. And I asked for some special consideration if they could come to the Board of Selectmen first for review and signing off, just as a logistical standpoint where we are in terms of scheduling. If we could get that done next week, if the board could review them next week, get them signed off, and then when I meet with the FinCom on Tuesday, the 17th, that would be the final step if FinCom was to approve those. So I'm not sure if the board was thinking of meeting next Thursday or possibly Friday. I know that there was a meeting scheduled for Friday.
What, 10?
12th.
12?
Yeah.
I'm good with meeting.
Yeah. I
Okay.
assume we would
You
anyway.
good with meeting?
What time?
6 o'clock, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have a meeting.
Okay, very good. So that takes care of that. So expect to see some line item transfers next Thursday.
Okay.
Moving right along and getting back into, I know, a topic that had came up at a previous meeting, Tanko lighting. Mr. Chairman, if you just mind my indulgence a little bit, let me explain where we are in the situation with this. Okay, so there was a little bit of confusion with regards to how we are here today. So back in the fall, in September, Tanco was paid for the parts and the labor. But where the confusion was, is in where they were confused, and quite frankly, when I was looking at our accounting, I was a little bit confused. We paid on an estimate back in September. We normally pay on invoices. So they were confused on their end, that saying that we didn't give them payment, when in fact we did give them payment. We just gave them payment on an estimate, not on an invoice. So that's where the confusion was, and we got that squared away. And when I had spoken to the accountant, moving forward, we're going to be just paying on invoices, not estimates, because we're not sure if that's the final cost and if the work is done. So to get back to their frustration of Tanco was saying, well, we have the parts, yes, we ordered the parts, and National Grid was supposed to wire the pole out on Ware Road, on 60 Ware Road. The wiring was done after December, but as it was made clear, the estimate was paid, the services we thought were going to be done, and they weren't done. So, I stressed with them that, we need to have this done because it was paid for, regardless if it was an estimate or an invoice, it was paid for. And they initially said that they wanted to then go into a contract to cover themselves in order for this to get done. I said, that's really not going to fly. I said, this is what we agreed upon, this is what we need to have done. So they went back with their legal today, and they finally came up with, the contract is not going to get extended as of right now, unless the board wants to extend them. But there is an amendment to the existing contract. If the board wants to sign, they will go out and do this work within the next couple weeks. And it doesn't make the town, having it doesn't bind the town to extend with them. It just allows them to do this work. It gives them the authority to go out there and do the work, even though their contract is technically expired.
Okay.
So it extends the contract to one additional job.
Just to this amendment job.
Yeah.
Just to this job. And then it would be up to the board's discretion as if they wanted to continue, if they don't want to continue, or if they want to go out to bid.
Okay.
So that would need a signature today, and then we could get that done within the next couple weeks. That Universal Electric will go out there and get that done.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I'm good with them fixing it, and we talked about that before. Either they put up our light, or they give us our money back.
Right.
Because we paid for it, and we knew we paid for it. Karen was very firm on, it was paid. So now we have the facts. They finally admit to it. All I care about is that light being put out there and making sure that the area is lit, for our pedestrians that walk back and forth to that.
Sure.
That little area there. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm fine. Do we?
Yeah, of course, it's a no-brainer.
So I'll make a motion to accept the amended contract to put in the street light at 60 Ware Road.
60 Ware Road, pole number 432 to be exact.
Okay.
All right.
Second,
All in favor?
Rich Ihacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. We'll do the one job for the project and get that light put in, so.
So I would also advise the board, at some point, the board will want to engage into a contract with somebody to service these lights, these entities, because the town doesn't have a provider after this is done. So I'm not sure if you're interested in maybe thinking about a one-year extension, or if you want to go out into a whole new bid for these services, but it's definitely the board's purview as to what they would choose to do.
I thought we decided we were gonna go forward with the bid process.
Okay, all right.
Because, again, it doesn't make sense utilizing a company that's out of California and using a third party to do it, and it just, Tanko's just been kind of a headache,
Okay.
Trying to get anything done. So I think we should definitely put it out to bid. We've had some good people apply for it,
Mhm.
and maybe one of them are gonna qualify for the bid also.
We had some interest, yeah.
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 Okay, I'll work with Tammy on getting that bid out there so that people can apply for that.
Okay, very good.
One other matter, last week, I know we talked about the copy maintenance, copy machine, and our late fee and our bill with regards to that. I did call Merlin Solutions. We were able to get that credit back, so there's no late fee.
Very good.
Moving forward, we're gonna have to just recognize that the bills are gonna be due every 10th of the month. And that first bill, it was a little bit different than the normal bill because it was a prorated bill for a certain time period. So they had to add a proration from when the original contract started. But moving forward, the bills will all be monetarily the same. And we should have no problems with moving forward on that.
Do you have that bill so they can sign it?
They came in and signed it already.
Because we,
Okay, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
needed
That's
to
right.
get it out.
I remember.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
So I submitted that to Tammy to get that paid.
Very good. Good job.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for
Mm-hmm.
saving us. It was like a $200 late charge.
Yeah, 166, yep. I did receive an email from Parks with regards to a question that they posed. It was actually directed towards legal. And their question was in relationship to the summer youth program and paying our summer youth out of that. I know it wasn't budgeted for, but we were able to put that in there, the $12,000 after the fact. And it's now in the omnibus, thanks to the board. And with regards to pay of summer workers, Parks Chairperson Sue Ramsey had some questions as to, on the pay scale, to finding qualified summer youths to fall in line under that pay scale. She had indicated she wanted to get the opinion of council, since they were allotted the $12,000, or could be allotted the $12,000 after town meeting. Could they adjust how much they pay certain individuals within that $12,000? I had responded back to Sue after the conversation we had, and I referred her to the personnel bylaw, Section 5 in particular, under the compensation plan. It's clear that the approved wage scale classification, Attachment A, under the provisions of the personnel bylaw, must be followed for hourly workers. And I said, please see attached. So we have a box that's on our wage classification scale for summer youth programs or summer workers. And it's pretty clear that those are the boxes, and depending on what fiscal year you're in, that's where you would qualify for. So it's either going to be, I think there's a supervisor's pay, and then there's a regular hourly pay for summer youth. So depending on how many hours that person works, that's what their pay would be under whatever rate that they would fall under.
Okay.
So I just wanted the board to be made aware of that. Next item is, I did reach out yesterday to our rep, our DOR rep, Department of Revenue rep, David Guzman, just as an introduction, as being a new person here. And he was really excited that the town has a town administrator here now, and that he's going to be coming out in the summer with his supervisor, Deb Wagner, to, go over, our year-end closeout with the accountant, and to go over, free cash certification. They said that they would loop me in on the conversation as well. And so I just made some initial contacts with him, letting him know that, if there's any ever issues or problems, to let me know of anything that may come up. Another matter that I just wanted to talk to the board about is next Thursday, during between 8:30 and 3 in the afternoon, the MMA is having a course. It's called HR Boot Camp. It's a course that's being held in Rentham, going over the best practices of HR and going over current trends in HR and how to do HR audits and job descriptions and dealing with human resource issues that may arise in a municipal organization. I realize that as a new person, that my budget for the expense account is not doesn't go into effect till July 1. I have no problems paying for this service because I think it could be beneficial to the town. I was just asking to see if the board would allow me to go to this thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
How much it costs?
Yeah, you should.
It's only $75.
Yeah,
You shouldn't pay for it.
no, you're not
We can
paying.
take it out of the selectmen's
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
I mean, I have no problem. I just looking to go.
You're doing it for us, that's.
Oh, okay.
it's job training and,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so if that's okay for the board on that day, if I could do that, I'll be back for the meeting, that night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
okay,
You good?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm good.
Yeah.
all right,
Benefits the town?
Uh-huh.
okay, thank you. And I just wanted to publicly comment and thank Karen for her work on the ARPA stuff. She was steadfast of getting that done for the reporting thing, and I know it was very frustrating, very tricky with dealing with the Treasury, and she was able to get through and get that done. So that was a huge thing for us to get that done, because there's crazy tickets that have to be filed to make sure, IT-wise, there was an issue there, and she was able to navigate through that and get through that. So thank you, Karen,
You're welcome.
for doing that.
Great job.
And with regards to the spring cleanout, I think that was another success from Jim Dusty, with him coordinating the trial court people. That was very helpful.
Got a lot of stuff cleaned out of this building. That was amazing, and still more to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, years of just accumulating stuff.
They're coming back on the 13th. We did not get down to the Boy Scout room, and there's a kid's pool table if anybody wants it.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's a kid, it's not
That'd
full
be good
size,
for
it's just a
somebody.
kid size.
So we're going to have some.
Put that, and take a picture of it, and put it probably on Facebook. Somebody.
Yes,
Take
we
care of
could.
it?
I can take care of that.
Thank you.
I was
Okay.
saying, there's a whole bunch of
Our
stuff.
social media guy, come on now.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on top of it, so it's gonna have
Also,
to all be.
remind me to send you the pictures that I took that day.
Mhm. And so we're going to have some, I think Jim's next task was he wanted to finish up over here, and then he wanted to go down to the senior center, and I don't know if he was he doing something at the police station too, or?
No,
Who's
fire
going?
station.
Fire
Station
station.
We have one thing at the fire station
Yeah.
that we need
Yeah.
some help with, they're gonna help us with that. We got a couple other things we gotta throw away, but yeah, he's concentrating
Yeah.
on the senior center next
Senior,
Friday.
yeah. So he's got some stuff to do there, so.
It's great. That's awesome, getting that program set up, and
Yeah.
I know you were very instrumental in that, getting that going. And we need all the help we can,
Mhm.
and cleaning all that stuff out. You guys, and I see you haul a lot of stuff too.
A little bit,
You
yeah.
took your suit off and you
Yeah.
were moving stuff too.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, everybody had their part into it.
Yeah.
Karen was moving stuff,
Oh, yeah.
everybody was.
Yeah. We were sore the next day, that was for sure.
When everybody said, okay, we're throwing away all this junk in the dumpster, everybody took that serious and like, all right, let's get all this out of here.
Yeah.
All hands on deck.
Yeah.
So that was very good, it was very impressive. Good job to everybody that took part in that.
So that would be the conclusion of my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, and keep them busy,
Yeah.
keep them busy, love it. All right, comments and concerns? Okay,
No,
Derek?
no, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I congratulate Derek for winning the election, since I was his opponent. And I would like to thank all the people in town that voted for me. I will run again for something, but not right away.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure you will have done a better job than I do here. But, I thank you for applying and being here. The meetings is very important because you get to know what's going on. And I'm sure we will need your help sooner or later.
Probably.
And I'll comment on that, anybody that they dedicate their time and they volunteer and help out. And I don't think any of us realized how much work was involved in being a selectman till we took this role. And it's a role of, I love working for the town. I love taking part and helping the town move forward, and as we all do. And we wanted to do this because we want to help the town and do our best to make things better for everybody in the town. And it can be quite a lot of work, and sometimes you go home and you have a headache from some of the stuff you deal with. But we come back and, it's definitely has its rewards too. To know that people do appreciate some of the stuff we do and understand that we're here truly for them and to help them. And with volunteers and everybody stepping up, and just like yourself, Joe, really appreciate you stepping up. And it didn't work out for selectmen for you, but there are other roles in town that we still need filled in different things that we can take part in. And if you truly want to be a part of town, there's things we can get you to do. There's always something. And thank you, and thank everybody. Whether you won or you didn't win an elected position, thank you for even stepping up and trying and raising your hand saying, hey, I want to help. So it takes a lot to do that. Yes, sir.
Since you're talking about what we do here, I also want to take the opportunity and thank our families, especially our wives,
Yes.
because it is not easy.
Yeah.
So thank you to all the families and all the wives, and that behind every great man, there's always a wonderful woman, so.
And I think, again, with Derek, he brings up a really good point. Our families, we spend a lot of time away from our families doing this job. And today we spent several hours doing site walks of a levy. It's not just coming here to a meeting and making a couple of decisions and voting on some stuff. There's a lot of groundwork and there's a lot of footwork we do in between here, between meetings, to make things happen. and working with, Jim, the town administrator, working with fire department, working with the police department, sitting with Karen and trying to figure out things, sitting with the treasurer, the tax collector, town clerk, planning board, sewer department, school department, sitting with all these departments and trying to make things work, and that does take a lot of time from our families. And thank you very much, Derek, for pointing that out, because, sometimes we do overlook that, and our families, do miss us at times, just like these guys. They probably want to get home to their families too tonight, both the chiefs, but they're here in a meeting. So let's try to move this forward too.
Yeah.
Did you have anything?
No.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, let me say that the Board of Selectmen, with the amount of hours you are putting in, you're truly underpaid. I mean, it should be at least double of what you're getting.
Well, I don't think we're gonna be touching that subject at all. I think,
Sometime in the future.
I think if we tried to raise that point, people would be staking us up in the center of town.
I'd rather be burned in effigy than to be silent.
But, it's more for the passion and wanting to do the right thing for everybody. The little stipend that we get helps a little bit with gas money, bouncing back and forth and doing stuff, and buying lunches and doing things like that, and taking care of stuff, but it's not meant to be a pay. We're not meant to be a paid position. That's why we advocated to have a town administrator, because Jim is our full-time guy here, and as you can see, all the paperwork in front of him tonight, he does his work, he earns his pay, he's doing his job. And, that's why we pushed for that position, because towns need it. Towns need to have certain professional people that are here all the time doing these jobs. You cannot run a town on volunteer work. Things are gonna be dropped to the side, things are gonna be missed, and we've seen it through history. We're cleaning up a lot of stuff that was missed, and opportunities that could have been brought forward, because, and it's not because people didn't want to do it, it's because they had their personal lives, and they had their regular jobs, and they had their families, and they had everything else going on. So you really need to have full-time people here to do this for you. And that's why Jim being here is a great asset to have. He's doing all that work. He's got money back from us, he's working on grants, he's getting bids for stuff, working, the insurance, finding out all the little details, all that stuff adds up.
Yeah.
So that helps out, and, it's too much to do as a part-time person for a town, so. Thank you, Joe, for recognizing that. And feel free to talk about that within the community when you talk to people on what actually goes on in here, seeing you've been sitting in here and watching us actually work now, and what's going on, and how it comes together. So, thank you. Any other comments and concerns? Guys, you have anything?
Still working on the leases, tying all that stuff up, hoping to get that squared away in the relatively near future, so we'll get that to you as soon as possible, but things are moving.
Okay, very good. All right. Nathan? Okay. So next meeting date is May 19th,
No, we changed it to next week.
well, May 12th,
Yep.
2022. And we could probably skip the 19th then.
No, we cannot.
Okay.
That's the one
We
I
did
wanted off.
public hearings.
Yes, that's the one you wanted on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
we'll be
have- We have 2 public hearings that night.
What's the other one? Grit?
We have the grit, and then we have a poll hearing, National Grid.
Oh,
Those are easy.
yeah.
So those are the 2 we have.
Okay, all right.
So we can't skip that.
So May 12th, and the following one is May 19th, 2022, at 6 PM. So,
Why were we meeting on the 12th? It was,
Line item transfers.
I don't know.
okay.
So,
Unless we can push it to the, is it,
no, it's time sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, if we did the line item transfers for the 12th, then the final step would be the 17th, and then it'd be done.
oh, because when, yeah, okay, right, okay. All right.
Right. All right, any other questions? Okay, so your favorite part of the night?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bellis, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.